All right.
You did it too.
Damn it. Week 4 is upon us.
Yeah. Week 3 is done.
Week 3 is in the past. I think that's how that goes, right?
Week 3 is in the books, I like to say.
All right. So we start off with a recap. Is that what we usually do?
We did that last week, so let's go for it.
Recap. One of the most fun games of the week here. Kaz versus Satan. Great win for Team Kaz.
Yeah.
That's a big win. 4-point win, 95-91.
Big win for us. I feel like I said this in the last podcast, but it was an unpopular opinion for people to choose our team to win that game. So I was proud with the way my team played. We came out and battled, and we ended up taking a close win.
Yep. Good game to watch. I'm pretty sure your team shot very well as a whole.
We had our first good shooting game of the season.
Yes.
I think until this game we were pretty down. We were down tremendous.
Yeah.
But Team Satan played a good game too. Steve's always a very tough player to guard. He's got that spin turnaround shot that's unguardable. Tassie had a solid game. Kurt had a solid game. Mike was able to contain him though, compared to what his season stats were.
Yeah.
I think Mike held him to 10 points lower than his average of 24.
Yep. Kurt had 13 rebounds and 0 assists.
And I think Mike had another 7 or 8 block game too.
He had, I believe it was 8.
Yeah. Mike had another great defense.
Yeah, Mike had 8 blocks for the second week in a row almost. He had 7 last week. So
so he's got 15 in the last 2 games.
That's a rim protector.
Making a case for Depoy. I know we got some great competitors out there for that award, but
yeah. I mean, one thing that I noticed from that game was you constantly, Steve or Team Satan as a whole would make a bucket, and they just couldn't get a stop. I remember watching the highlight film. There's so many buckets on that where you just see Steve's reaction is just like, oh my god, just because they could not catch a break.
Yeah.
They were playing solid defense. You guys were just hitting.
They did play
great
good defense.
shots.
We just made some tough shots that week.
It was good offense. It was good defense, better offense.
Yeah.
That was kind of how I'd sum up that game. Fun to watch.
It was a great game.
So, and then we had game 2 was Shannon versus Chung.
There was some controversy in this game that we didn't even know about.
We didn't know about until So apparently on the books it was a 7-point difference.
I think we had it done as 87-78. So I think it was 9, and it ended up when Joe recounted the score, it was 87-85. So I mean, considering that team stopped playing with about 45 seconds left, who knows what that last minute could have done for them?
Yeah, I mean it was a fun game to play in.
Yeah.
Mike was back to his season 4 self.
Yeah, Mike finally
78 points. Crazy game for Mike.
He had his 3-ball dropping finally.
Yeah, I know he shot 17 of 37 from 3, which is actually pretty good. That's just under 50%.
Yeah, very good for 3s.
So now he brought his averages way up now. He's 51% from the field and 35% from 3-point line. Which if you can do that consistently, that's pretty scary.
Let's just see if you can keep it up when Bodie comes back. They were without.
I'm not gonna say it.
They were without Bodie Nader.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm thinking it.
They had Ryan Gaffney and Nick Cruiser, who Mike wasn't the most pleased with in the game, but
no, not at all.
They forced him to take over, so we'll see if he can keep that level of play up going forward. Because if he keeps that level of play up like we saw Mike in season 4, then that's when we'll see them rise on the power rankings.
Yeah. Fun game to watch, though. Fun game to play in.
Yeah, another close one.
Close game. And game 3 was Team Cosme versus Team Howard.
Was played 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, but we haven't talked about it yet. As far as I remember, another good game. It was a 9-point game, 119. Yep, 119 to 110. Oops.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, Rob hit some tough shots. That was Rob's last game for now. He's gone for a month. He will be back, I want to say, week 7.
Team Howard did put up a fight in that game.
Yeah.
They brought it closer at the end, and then I think we mentioned it last podcast, but Team Cosme did end up pulling away with some free throws.
Yep.
But all in all, those first 3 games were 9 points and under. So
yeah, 9 points was the biggest difference.
Yeah,
we had a 9-point game,
a 2-point,
2-point game, and a 4-point game.
And then we'll get to the next one.
And then the next one was both of our games of the weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, we thought this was going to be a lot better of a game.
This was just, no offense to Connor, this was pure dominance by Josh Modano.
Yeah, I think that Josh, week after week, is making a case better for himself for not only Defensive Player of the Year, but MVP.
MVP.
So I think his team has gotten better every week, which is scary.
Yep. Modano had 107 points out of his team's 119, I believe.
I didn't know he had 100.
107.
Wow.
He shot 31 of 70 from 3. So
That's a 3-point record.
Yeah, that is a new 3-point record. He held Connor to
I think it was 48.
Connor's career low was 48 points. Before that, I believe it was in the 60s or maybe the 50s.
Yeah, that shows you. That's a prop to Connor right there. That shows how unstoppable he is.
Yeah.
But Josh was able to do a great job defending him.
Even that, I mean, Connor was hitting some crazy shots in the corners.
It's crazy that the fact that we judge Connor for 48 being bad for him.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I'd take 48 any day of the week.
Yeah, that's the type of player that Flanny is.
Yeah. Crazy game. Again, I keep saying it, but this one was just like, I was actually subbing for this game, and every time I'd pass the ball to Josh, either I'd get a rebound or even just off check or something.
There wasn't a lot of rebounds.
I knew this kid was getting a bucket.
Yeah.
There was actually. Really? Because of Flanny.
Yeah.
Tyler had 30 boards.
Jeez.
Yeah. So now he has almost double the amount of rebounds as points on the year.
We saw Johnny make his debut too.
Debut for Johnny Picard.
I think he had 2 points.
4 points.
4 points.
19 rebounds, 1 assist.
Wow.
2 steals. I love the hustle, Johnny. But field goal percentages could use some work.
Yeah.
It was 2 for 11, but
we'll get there.
Only way is up.
We'll get there, Johnny. We'll get there. But yeah, other than that game, we had a great week of games, great slate of games, and I don't have much to say about that last game.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that my team got beat by less by Team Modano.
Same. Modano's been blowing people out. His point difference
It's crazy.
is 115.
Team Flanny.
He's only allowed 178 points as a team.
Yeah. Team Flanny is at negative 82.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah. To put this into perspective, Modano's at 115. The next closest person for point differential is at 38.
And that's Cosme. The Golden State Warriors. They put up so many points. They allow so many
They have
points.
about 70 more points scored, but yeah, they have about
half
double
of the points allowed.
Yeah, they have about double the points allowed as Team Modano.
Yeah. So
what do we do after this? We go to the predictions for
I think we'll talk about. Well, let's talk about players of the week kind of stuff.
Well, I think we both agree on player of the week.
Player of the week, yes.
Josh Modano.
Josh Modano. I mean,
I don't think you could score 100 like that.
107. We'll read you the stat line. 107 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, which is like, okay, he's shooting the ball every time.
Yeah.
2 blocks, 3 steals.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, he shot 31 of 70, I believe. 31 of 75.
Mm-hmm.
So
a little bit under 50.
Yeah.
A great shooting percentage for that many shots, though.
Yeah. I mean, crazy game. Held Connor, like I said, 48 points. Took over that game.
Until this game, I would give player of the week to Mike Shannon, but sorry, Mike.
I mean, you can honestly argue Cosme, too. Cosme had 67. Or wait, no.
I think I'd give
it would be the opposite. He would be here.
I think I'd just give it to Mike because he had to kind of step up because he had a sub on his team and then Cruiser.
That's fair.
So I think that game really depended on Mike.
Yeah.
Gabe at least has that reliable second option and third option all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, player of the week.
Josh.
100% Josh.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't. Have I updated this? I think I have to refilter it.
All right. Uno momento. We're gonna in a second here we're gonna talk about like 1,000-point scores like we mentioned in week 1, where we had like 5 or 6 players getting close. So Joe's just gonna organize this right now, so we add up some things here. We'll see who's getting close here.
So we gotta reshuffle. So I think the top 5 stayed relatively similar.
Yeah, because
Cosme.
It was only me before the season, right?
No.
It wasn't?
It was Cosme's the only new one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Alright, well.
I mean, because even if you look, so far the leading point scorer with total points is Josh with 209.
Yeah.
Everybody else, there's some people with hundreds.
Yeah.
173, 142.
Let me see. Can I see how many points Yaney's got total?
97. Oh, all time?
Yeah.
Yaney is 49 points away.
All right.
And he's the closest.
I said week 3 or 4, so hopefully that could stay true and we can get that in week 4, Yaney.
You also got to keep an eye on Modano now. He's 890. He'll definitely hit that by the end of the year.
He'll get that in 2 games.
Yeah.
At this rate. Or maybe he puts up 110 next game.
He could. You never know. Who's he playing? Team Howard.
That'll be interesting.
That'll be interesting.
That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see how they match up.
Yeah.
Because they do have Kahim now.
I mean,
so we wanted to take a look at our 1,000-point scores update. So our closest people are Yaney and Josh.
Yaney and Josh I'd put on watch. Bodie you could definitely see.
Then it depends. I don't know if Bewley will get there this year. He needs about 230 points with the shots that. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Rob's team because maybe Bewley will get more shots now.
That's true. He's averaging 18 a game right now.
I don't know if that'll get it this year.
If you keep that up through 10 games, it's 180 points.
I won't get there. Unless Bewley starts going off the rest of the season, averaging like 40, 50 a game, and we're probably only going to be seeing Modano, Bodie, and Yaney join the 1,000-point club, which that'll make it 9 players total. Yeah.
Yep.
So through 5 seasons, 9 total players in that 1,000-point club.
200 points a season.
Yeah.
Roughly. But then you also have guys like Cosme who didn't play a year. Modano didn't play a year. Yeah. So now do you want to talk? Let's talk about next week.
All right.
Let's go to week 4.
Perfect.
So first game.
Cosme versus Chung.
Cosme Chung.
Do you want to plead? I think it's nice that we always plead our cases for our games. So you go first.
I don't have a case.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. I think the best outcome. I'm a very positive guy. Cosme's team scores way too much for my team. I think in best case scenario, we keep this game close.
I'll hope for you. I'll put it that way. But
we got to score at least 100.
Yeah, at least minimum.
Hey, I'm gonna speak it into existence, and I'm gonna sound like a dumbass when it doesn't come true.
Joe Puyas putting up 50.
I was gonna say 40.
I'll say 50.
Jesus.
Bet on yourself.
What about? Can we make a bet?
We'll go 45. What's the bet?
Will you buy me some food if I score 50 points?
Okay.
Free Popeyes chicken sandwich if I get 50. You heard it here first.
Joe gets a Popeyes combo.
Let's go! I'm ready!
Chung, give him the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Cosme's a great team.
My take on that.
We've been struggling shooting lately, so
I'll jump in here. Like we were saying earlier, Cosme's points scored is just crazy compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
So, and your guys, I don't believe, is up that high. I think it was one of the lower.
240.
Yeah, so I think I'm one lower than you.
Yep.
So.
Not lowest.
Yeah, but we're 2-1.
Hey.
But all right, so the difference here, Team Cosme has scored 363 points. Is that the difference, or is that the total score of the season?
What?
Point. What is that?
This is points 4. So we've scored 240. We've only let up 266.
Okay. So yeah, that's a big difference. So I mean, unless you guys buckle down, kind of come together on defense, it's going to be your most important game of the season to play the greatest defense you can. So it'll be interesting to see how you guys match up. But I mean,
will say, I think our team will match up a little bit better than other teams. I think I can.
You don't want to give away the game plan here.
I'm gonna say that our matchups aren't gonna score too much compared to what they usually would. So I think they'll still put up a solid number. I don't think Cosme's gonna have 38 rebounds this game.
Yeah, no, if you in the paint.
He'll probably have close to it, but and then I don't think that Mo I'll say I don't think Mo is going to be as much as a factor as he has been in the past couple games.
All right, I could agree. But
I think definitely I would see Cosme winning this game.
Record-wise, I'm going Team Cosme.
Yeah, probably the lock of the week.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But, next game
2.
My team versus Team Shannon.
Plead your case.
I'll plead my case. We're coming off a win against what was the number 2 power ranked team last week, I believe. So
Yep.
we have 2 good wins this season and a very bad loss. So I think coming off that last game, we got our confidence up a lot. We had a good shooting game finally after shooting tremendously in the first 2. I think so. Coming off that game, we got high spirits. I talked to my team; they're all happy with the way they played. So the difference is with Team Shannon is how Mike can continue his play. If he could put up scoring like he did the last week, even with Bodie back, then we might have some problems. But Joe's saying that's not going to happen.
I stand by it. I
Bodie does take a lot of shots.
Bodie takes a lot of shots, and it takes the ball out of Mike's hands where Mike is a more efficient player.
I do like the way that we match up with Team Shannon. I think I'm not going to give away the matchups, I'll say that, but I think it'll be a good game to watch. And, I mean, it seems like a reoccurring thing with my team. We play in close games. I think that's where we thrive. We seem to make timely shots at the end of the games.
Yep.
So I can see it being a close
Clutch
game.
team.
I can see it being a close game if Mike shows up to play and Bodie does as well. So we're going to have to go at Cruiser. But I think it'll be a good game, and I'm looking forward to playing my old teammate Mike Shannon and Bodie. And I was with them 2 years ago.
That's true.
So I'm looking forward to playing them.
Record-wise?
I'm taking me, just like every other week so far.
I think I agree with you on that. I see you guys continuing to shoot well, playing well. I think I agree that you guys will probably match up. You'll have a bit of advantage.
Mike is a strong guy.
Matchups. Mike is a strong guy, but we'll see how you play it. Yeah, I'm going to take Team Kaz as well. I think it'll be a good game. We'll see how it goes. When do you guys think you're playing? Playing Saturday.
We're play Saturday around 2.
Saturday. I forgot to mention, Team Chung is playing Cosme at 1:15 on Friday. Team Kaz is playing Team Shannon.
I think 2
2 at the latest.
2, yeah, probably. We got to start around as close to 2 as possible.
Okay, I'm not sure if I will be there, but you guys can still play.
We'll get it going.
Flandy versus Satan is game 3.
We'll talk about that. Do we know when that's playing yet or no?
No, we will figure that out after this is released, I'm assuming. I'd try to push towards Friday so I can be there as well, but if you guys want to play Saturday, we can try that.
Alright, so here we go. We'll talk about this game. So, I think it's obvious who I'm going to pick here. I'm gonna go right off the bat and say Team Satan before explaining anything, because I feel like after that, Flaney's 0-3 now. He took a very bad loss by what? I think it was almost 60 points.
Yeah.
And I think that Satan, even though they took a very close loss last week, they're still a very tough team to play. They're still a great defensive team. Him and Tassie and even Kurt have been good all season.
Oh. Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with that. I'm also going to take Team Satan. Flanny himself hasn't been struggling, but he's been struggling to kind of string things together.
Yeah.
He had Johnny back. Johnny definitely helped him on the rebounds. But I think having Josh on him last game just tires you out so much. He's a very physical defender.
Jake also had Tyler on him, who's became a great defender this year.
Yes, actually, I forgot to mention that, but Tyler is also a very good defensive player this year as well.
Yeah. Tyler's turned.
He's been kind of. I mean, Josh is locking up number 1 options. Tyler's locking up 2 options. So you almost have to look to your 3rd option to score when you play Team Madonna, which is crazy to see.
I'm sure we'll see Flanny bounce back.
Yeah.
I think he'll be back to his scoring average.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go Team Satan in that game.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really another choice.
I could see this being a close game.
Yeah, it all depends on how Flanny bounces back.
I do think that Satan is just going to take it down the stretch, though.
I think it depends on how Jake plays as well. Because if Jake's able to put up good scoring numbers like he did like week 1, I think he had like 24. So, because last week Flanny had, I don't even know, but I think Jake had what? I know it wasn't a lot of secondary and like 3rd option scoring.
At 11. So between Johnny and Jake, they had 15 points.
Yeah, so I think that if Flanny's team could get more production out of Jake and John this coming week, then it'll be a better game to watch than we expect.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And game 4, which is probably going to be played Monday because that's what works best with Madano's schedule, is Howard versus Madano.
Now Team Davey.
Team Davey.
For the near future.
He's been promoted. But congratulations.
Welcome, Team Dave. Welcome, Captain Davey. But we'll see Kahim debut this year. He played before in this league, but this will be a season debut.
So let's talk about that.
Do we have some stats from him?
Yeah. Last time. Okay, well. Alright, let me look at
be a little inflated.
Let me look at this one.
Yeah.
So he's played 5 games, and 4 games in year 3, where he averaged just about 40. It was 39.3. 28 rebounds, 5 assists, a block, and 3 steals. Shooting pretty well. 52% and 32% from 3.
What were some defensive stats? Do we have those? He had 3 steals.
Here. 3 steals, 1 block.
Alright, so he's bringing some defense to the table.
And then he played 1 game last year. Shot 46 points, 15 rebounds, 2 assists, 0 blocks, 1 steal, 56% from the field, and 40% from 3.
So he's proven himself in this league before.
Right. I mean, Kahim is a solid player.
He's a strong player.
He's a built dude who knows how to use his body. As far as the last time I've seen him, I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
But he's a big dude. He's gonna grab rebounds. He's gonna probably play pretty physical on defense. I'd put him on your number 1 matchups.
Yeah.
Probably if I was Brian.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how Team Davey plays out until Rob gets back.
Yeah.
Because, like we were saying, Kahim is a very different player than Rob.
Yeah.
And I think
he doesn't have that Hall of Fame space creator that Rob does.
And I feel like Rob's got that very quick first step. Too. Yeah. So I'll be interested to see how they match up against other teams until Rob gets back.
Yeah. So for this case, I think we both agree on.
I'm gonna go Team Madano.
Yeah.
I think they've proven themselves 2 weeks in a row with very convincing wins.
Yep.
They're 3-0, one of the 2 undefeated teams left. I think they'll move on to 4-0.
Yeah, I agree. So, power rankings?
Let's get it. Or do we want to do some surprises from this week and then get to power rankings, or what do you want to do?
We'll go for surprises. We probably should have done that before, but let's do that now.
Well,
what were you surprised by?
Mike Shannon's back after last game, I could say, for the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily want to say that's a surprise, though. Because we knew it would be coming.
It was there, but, like, he was scoring, like, 30 a game until last game.
Yeah.
So I think for him to just, out of nowhere, get back to almost 80, I think it was a surprise, and I think it was a good one that his team needed.
Yeah. That was a big win. That was his first win, right?
Yeah, first one of the season for Team Shannon.
So.
Gaffney's the key, maybe.
Maybe. Obviously, Josh, I don't think anybody would have thought that Flanny versus Madano game was going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, so as we were saying, beginning of the season, I think Joe and I were saying that if anyone was going to score 100, it was going to be Flanny. But
I believe I said it last week.
Yeah, but
that Flanny was going to get 100 soon, and then Josh did.
But roles were reversed this game.
Yeah.
As Josh played Flanny and put 100 and what on him? 107. So that was I wouldn't say surprise because Josh has been on a tear all season, but anytime someone scores over 100, it's a surprise.
Dude's been out for blood.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Great. He's honestly fun to watch.
Yeah.
I love to watch how that team plays defense. I'm a big defensive guy. I've always said it. I love defense, and I love Team Madano. I'll say it outright.
Yeah, I mean, he's risen up on the rankings every week, and he's going to again this week, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
He's not going down.
No, I'm putting him at 8.
I'm putting him back to 8. Sorry, Madano. Spoiler. Seems that he plays better when he starts down low. So we gotta remember that for next season.
So, I mean,
other than that, that was the only thing that I had to say about the surprises. It's just that Mike Shannon was back to being what we saw last season.
I'm fine with that. So, power ranking time. The time that everybody looks forward to.
I got mine up here. I'll read mine off, and you could see.
You go with yours. I'll react.
All right, here we go. Starting at number 8. Sorry, Team Flanny, but
yes, I moved up.
I had to.
Let's go.
I mean, the point differential just speaks for itself. It's mainly because of this game, but it wasn't the strongest showing for you guys, and I don't think that it's. I think it's only right to move you down a little bit after that last week, because I'll like ladder on to my next thing here. I'm gonna go Team Chung at 7. That's the only reason, because like you guys still lost, but you had a lot closer of a game.
The biggest differential we had was to Team Madonna when we lost by 16.
Yeah, you guys had the closest game with Team Madonna so far.
Yeah.
So those are my first two. Like I said, Team Flanny at 8 because of that loss. We'll see if they pick it back up this week. Are they playing who this week? Team Satan, I think?
Flanny is playing Satan.
Team Satan. So if they win this week, then that'll be a good win for them. And then we'll see if they bump up again.
Yeah. I can agree with both of those two. I was debating putting... I try to be as least biased as I can on these.
Yeah.
So I originally was going to put myself 8, but just because you put 7, I would also put 7. Yeah.
My reason for that was just because you guys had a lot closer of a game.
Yeah.
And anyone...
I mean, we've hung with Satan. We lost by 2 to Shannon.
Yeah.
We lost by 4, I think, to Satan, and then we lost by 16 to Madonna.
And, like, for me, it's like, even when I got blown out last week, I dropped myself in the rankings, too. So I feel like it's only fair to keep that same statistic going. So...
On the 6.
On the 6, I got Team Shannon for now. I think that this could change after we see the next ranking. I'll get to that in a second, but Team Shannon, they had a better game, got their first win of the season. The reason for 6 is because we don't know if Mike will be able to continue that once Bodie's back. Joe has been saying this for a while, and I think a couple other people agree with this statement that we don't know. Because when Mike plays with Bodie, it's a known thing that he doesn't get nearly as many opportunities to score. So, for now, I got Team Shannon at 6. Do you agree with that?
I contemplated 5.
You want me to move on to my 5?
Yeah, so we'll do that.
I'll explain this. So, for now...
I will agree, but I could also understand... I figure I know who you have at 5.
I think you know who I'm going with at 5. At 5, I got Team Howard.
Yeah.
And so, I was going to mention this when I got here, but with Kahim coming in, these could easily flip-flop.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But we don't know that yet. So those two are really 5, 5.5, 5 tied, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
But Team Howard, they're 1 and 2 now, I believe. So, and with Rob gone, that's a big hit to scoring.
Yep.
So we'll see if Kahim can come in and take Flo with some of that role, and we'll see what the future holds for them.
Yeah.
So you agree?
Now,
with
actually, I would put Howard for now at a solid 5, strictly because they've lost 2 games by 6 points.
I could agree with that. So moving on to 4.
Bo!
I think Team Satan is my number 4 pick. Based off last game, Steve called it a bad loss. That was the first thing I heard from him after the game. But I think I like the way my team played against him. And what is team? I think that was their first loss of the season.
Yep.
I mean, 4 is still a great spot to be in, but for them, it might not be what they expected this season. So I still got a lot of confidence in them, what they could do the rest of the season. I think they just had an off game. Even though Steve shot very well, Kurt had a down game for scoring, and I'm not sure what Tassie had.
Tassie, unfortunately, was, what's the word I'm looking for? Broke.
Oh.
Sorry, Tassie, but...
We love you.
You'll do better next week, I promise.
Well, as we say here a lot, only way is up.
Only way is up, baby.
That's a reoccurring thing here, we say.
Yeah.
But,
I think I can... this one was tough for me because I like your team. That was a very good. That was a very good win.
I think that...
I also like Team Satan, though.
I'll explain my team next.
I think I will agree putting Satan at 4. We'll see how they respond. I mean, this week against Flaney, but also the next week they play Team Howard. So that's another good team. Or, solid team. Flaney's a solid team. So I think it'd be interesting if they could get string a couple like big wins together.
Yeah.
It can open up some eyes. But for now, I agree with Satan at 4.
All right. So moving on to number 3. I think it's obvious I have my team, but I think we moved up from 5 last week down to 3. So it was a good week for us. I think that the reasoning behind this is because we've beaten 2 solid teams, and I think that's what we needed, that second valid win to kind of like. I'm saying valid a lot. I'm saying valid a lot, but it kind of validated us as being like a team that others may see as like they're coming to play.
Yep.
So I think that's my reason behind putting me at 3. I think that we had a great week. We shot well. We played defense good. So yeah, you agree with those so far?
Yeah.
Number 2, coming all the way from the 8 seed, Team Madano. I think that the reason about I don't know. It'll be interesting to see when them and Cosme play. Because Cosme's a post-up player. He'll get in and kind of try to get in the paint against you. So that'll be interesting to see how Madano plays Gabe, assuming that's the matchup.
Week 5.
So not this week.
That's next week. Oh, baby! That's going to be a good game.
So for now, Team Madano, I got you at 2. You guys have proven yourselves every single week. You moved from 8 to 6, 6 to 4, and I think now you're at 2. So you've gone up every week. You keep proving the league wrong. You've had strong game after strong game, and it all comes down to that Cosme game in 2 weeks.
I'm going to disagree.
Oh, wow.
Like I said before, I love Team Madano. So I was going to put them at 1 because of how well their offense has been playing. Just, I mean, what do they have week 2 for points?
Their offense is really just Madano, though, right now. Besides when Jamrock's playing. He didn't play last week.
So, 93 total team points for Madano week 2, and then 100 whatever for week 3. I think that they can really... For me, what I'm looking at is how they're going to match up with Cosme, which I think is what you were doing too.
For me, I'm high on Team Madano, but I'm a little bit higher right now on Team Cosme just because I'm curious to see how that... I'm more curious to see how this Mo and Tyler matchup will be.
That's because
I think that Mo brings a lot more offensively to the table, and that's not a knock to Tyler, because Tyler's a great defender. But I think that...
I mean, Mo is also a hooper.
Yeah, yeah.
Tyler didn't ever play basketball. Mo is a routine basketball player, which definitely helps for his advantage.
I'm also going to be curious to see how that Jamrog versus Tommy matchup plays out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I could see how you put Madano 1 right now, but I think the thing driving me to put Cosme 1 is just the points scored right now.
Yeah.
Because they're really looking unstoppable so far, but we've seen what Madano can do defensively, so
yeah,
we'll see that matchup. So, I mean, I guess right now you could go 1 and...
That reason that you just said is why I would put them at 1.
Yeah.
Is because I think Cosme's team banks on scoring so much that when you play a defensive team like Madano's team, I think they might struggle.
Who's Madano played so far? I don't think he's played
Madano's
a team
played
that scores
Flanny.
like Cosme, though. Flanny, me, and you, right?
Yes.
So they have not seen a team that scores like Team Cosme yet. That's my only issue.
What team does score like Team Cosme?
Exactly. They outscore the league by a very hefty amount.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, it could easily change my mind when those 2 teams play. But for now, I'm gonna go Team Cosme at 1 and Team Madano at a very close, like 1.5.
Completely off topic. I don't understand how they shoot 117 shots a game. I really don't. I'm not gonna be like the closest to it is 103.
They were at
and that's Team Davey now.
They were at like 119 week 1 too, so they've maintained that same.
Right. I mean, we have 77, 84, 89, like 82, and 99.
Yeah.
117 shots is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be gassed.
I just think to go back on my reasoning a little bit, even though I know we kind of started talking about this now, but when you're going against 2 players that are capable of putting up 50 or 60, I think Gabe and Mo had over 50 the first 2 weeks of the season. I just think it will come down to how great Madano's defense could be and how great Tyler's could be. They've shown us the first 3 weeks, but those 2 players are like players they've never faced before, besides Flanny. Yeah. So we'll see.
So I think the last thing that we want to touch upon was week 3/4. I would say not like what is it called? Like award races.
Oh, so yeah, we wanted to look at some top 3 kind of award leaders so far in the season.
So now, if you could pick 3 people
for MVP, you want to go MVP
I want to start.
Last?
I want to do MVP last,
right.
Depoy second,
so
and
you want to start with most improved?
Rookie. I think is kind of obvious
so rookie,
for me.
We got Mo,
Tommy, Jack, and Johnny. Obviously, Johnny, we have a small sample size. I think we can ultimately say that
Mo.
Johnny is not in the picture.
Yeah.
No offense, Johnny, but
I think I just said it. I'm going to go with Mo for Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
Dude's averaging 47 a game with 14 boards, almost 3 steals and a block. And I think, so we said, what about Jamrog? Did we say Jamrog?
Jamrog is also in it.
Jamrog's making a case, but Mo's numbers are better right now, I'd say.
Jack just doesn't have the volume of touches that Mo has.
I'd give Jack the runner-up for right now. I'd say I'd go Mo, Jack, and then I'd go Tommy.
Yep.
Just because we haven't seen, as we were just saying about most improved player, top 3.
Or rookie.
Rookie. We both agreed. Mo, Jack, Tommy.
In that order.
Just because we haven't seen a lot from Johnny yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he can pick it up. But until then, that's the order.
Most improved is going to be interesting, I think. Because I think you've seen a lot of people stay.
I got one option so far for most improved that I can think of off the top of my head.
If you want to talk about them, go ahead.
Let's see some other stats here.
This is last year.
All right. So right now, I'd say one of my players that I don't know where he'd fit in on the list until we look at some other stats here, but I'm gonna say Kurt. Kurt's been having a great season so far, and I think I don't even know what his stats were like last season, but the impact. Yeah, he's
last
doubling.
year he had 13, 23, and 6 assists.
He's around the same. He's a little less rebounds, I believe, but he's doubling his points from last season.
Yeah.
So I think that Kurt is a good fit for most improved player because I think it's not even just the averages. I think his impact is a lot more.
He's arguably one of the better third options.
Yeah,
I think I'd put him as the second best third option.
I think the impact that he has on his team has improved a lot since last year.
Yeah. He's really the first one that comes to mind. A lot of people
I got another one.
Stayed almost exactly the same.
I might have 2 right here.
Okay.
I got my final 2. I don't know if you'll agree, but stats wise, it might not be the most obvious, but my second would be Tyler, just because of how vastly he's improved on defense. I feel like since last season, he's grabbing boards, he's getting in the paint and dunking a lot, and all this film I'm watching. I think that Tyler has established himself as one of the primary defenders in this league. Just who's lengthy, strong. I feel like he could do a lot on defense.
Yeah, so I will agree with that. I think it's not necessarily in the stats, but when you watch Tyler play, like we said before, is he will lock up your second option.
He's a lot more involved in the game, it seems like, this year on defense.
Yeah. So his points have dropped a little bit, which I think is understandable. Mm-hmm. His rebounds have gone up 5-ish, and then the other stats have kind of floated around the same. But yeah, I mean, I think his game really impacts you most on defense.
Yeah.
And I think that's also what he's improved most. But he also is definitely playing. I liked how aggressive he played last week. He was driving to the hoop. We all know Tyler is stupid athletic. He could dunk all over people if he really wanted to.
He's an athlete.
But he just doesn't try to, I feel. Mm-hmm. This week he was attacking the rim and he got, I think, 3 or 4 dunks that were like, it's nice to see him banging.
He had a
like
lot
that.
of nice dunks.
Yeah.
See, my third here is, it's kind of hard to find a third right now because we said of how many people are staying around. Like,
and it's also a smaller sample size.
Yeah.
Like, this is also pretty early.
No one's made that huge jump yet, but right now, I'm kind of leaning, like, this isn't on any bias, but I like Novak on defense right now. Novak's averaging a lot. He might not be as, right now, he doesn't average as many blocks as last season, but he's averaging 5 blocks, and that's basically over 2 games, so he didn't have any
the first week, so.
But, I mean, I got to go Mike Novak for now just because I don't think anyone else has made that tremendous leap from last season. But I like the way Mike's played on defense so far, and I think he's improved a lot defensively. Do you have any other takes on that? Because I personally don't see anyone else.
I don't see anyone. I don't know.
I don't even know.
I'd honestly leave it at 2 personally.
I was trying to just squeeze
because
in that
I think Novak, we knew was a rim protector last year.
Yeah. The main thing for me is I'd put him there because
6 blocks.
if he keeps improving, like if he keeps that 8 blocks a game up, or even 5 blocks a game up, then I think he'll end the season with a lot of blocks, obviously.
Yeah.
So for now, we'll go. Who do we say is first? We said Tyler, and we said Kurt. We said Tyler and Kurt.
Tyler.
And then.
But what would you if you had to put a rank?
I don't know.
I think that's tough.
Tyler,
That's tough too.
I'd go Tyler number 1, just because I don't know. We'll call it 1 even.
Yeah.
They both have impacts.
Most improved is tied.
They both have impacts in different ways.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that as we get a bigger sample size. Maybe we'll revisit this in a couple weeks.
Maybe. Depoy.
Depoy, I think
Depoy,
it's the stats may not be there, but it's Josh McDonald right now.
If we had a stat, which I don't, on the stat sheet, would be opponents like points allowed per game.
Yeah.
Madonna would be like lowest
ahead of everyone by far.
Yeah, and it's also impressive because he's guarding every team's number 1.
Yeah.
It's something if you guard your third
Second or
options
third
and you I have 2 points scored on me.
But yeah,
the Madonna is taking your captain
I'd go.
and he is pushing him to the curb. Essentially.
Yeah, I'd go Madonna number 1 by a very safe amount for right now. I don't see that changing.
I think if I had to pick number 2, I'd probably talk about Steve.
I'd talk about Steve for number 2 just because of that.
Steals,
He's 6 steals a game.
6 steals a game.
I think that might be leading the league.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So Steve is leading the league by a
good amount.
Looks like 4 or 5. The next closest person.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I have it over here.
Hang on, we'll see here.
Yeah, then he's double the next
3.
person.
And it's his teammate.
Yeah, it's Kurt at second.
Yeah. So Steve has 6 steals a game, doubling Kurt, the next closest with 3. But those are the top 2. Number 3.
I think what I wanted to touch about, I think I mentioned it last week, was I would say Josh is the best on-ball defender. Josh has very quick hands. He steals. He had like 3. He gets like 3 a game. He's got very quick hands and will pick your pocket. Steve loves the passing lanes. Steve's a big passing lane steal guy. He's a very good off-ball defender and kind of denies ball.
You can make the argument though that that's what Josh does. Josh is face guarding.
Well, he also is face guarding. That's true.
So I'd say that Josh is a very pesty off-ball defender as well.
That's fair. Do we need to talk about a third? I mean, third we could go Mike Novak. I would agree with that. Yeah.
I'd go Mike Novak for third because
blocks
of the blocks.
leader by far. I think
he'd be averaging a lot more if he continued this week 1. But
same thing, double.
Yeah.
And I think that's because Bodie's played 2 games and had 5 blocks in 1.
Yeah.
So that's why he's second.
But yeah, Mike Novak, great job on blocks this season so far.
Yeah.
So, what we got? Is there anything else besides MVP that we're missing here?
We got MVP.
Alright. MVP. You want
start off with
both
3.
Say it? 3?
Start off with 3 and work our way up.
Number 3
could be interesting here.
See, I don't know. I like to give MVP to like players on winning teams here. So I don't know.
That's who I might say.
Yeah, I don't know about.
Or actually, yes.
I'm gonna say there.
I'm gonna say number 3.
We'll give it to Flanny.
Well, let's put this out here. This is your prize. You're not touching it because I don't want anybody to break it. But this is your MVP. Smash it over your head. Imagine. That would be sick.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Connor
the
Flanagan.
reigning MVP, Connor Flanagan. Like you were saying,
the reason for this is for me, and I think Joe would agree, is MVP. I like to give it to players who are on like winning teams, kind of like I don't know, helping their team win a lot. I don't know how else to say it, but Flanny, like he's putting up ridiculous stats. He's putting up 66 and 23, and those are easily MVP numbers. But the fact that his team's 0-3 is kind of just bumping him down a little bit for me.
Now, I think you also do have to take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Flanny kind of got screwed.
Yeah.
He
played with Cat for 2 games.
He has not a great team on paper. He doesn't have a great supporting cast, whereas I think Gabe has a much better supporting cast to win games.
Like Flanny right now is shooting 40, and then his teammates are shooting 29 and 18.
Yeah.
So
their entire team I think is on the bottom of the league.
I moved up.
In field.
I moved up.
I mean, yeah. We have Johnny shooting 0. He's 0 for 7. Kurt's like 1 for 8. Jake is actually up here somewhere, right there. But field goal percentage pretty low.
So yeah, Flanny, if you string together some wins, obviously those stats don't lie. Maybe you'll see yourself rise up on the MVP rankings.
Yeah. 2?
2. I think we could agree on this too. Gabe Cosme.
Team Enfield. Yep.
Gabe has made a strong return this season after missing last season. He's proven himself again, showing what he can do game in and game out. He's shooting well from the field, 42, which is pretty solid for Driveway League. Granted, he has the best defender on him every game, most likely. But he's got 57.7 points per game and 36 rebounds. That's some prime Joe Puya numbers.
I'm washed.
That's some season 2-3 Joe Puya right there.
Yeah.
But I think that's the very solid option for our second current ranking MVPs.
Yep.
Yet again, 6-7 weeks left. Lot can change.
Lot can change. I mean, who knows?
Well, maybe we'll revisit this maybe another 3 weeks or something.
As of right now, I think it's safe to say that Josh Modano has been the leading MVP candidate. Leads the league in scoring. He shuts down. He plays offense. He plays defense.
Mm-hmm. He's one of the last undefeated teams.
Yeah.
Him and Cosme are the last undefeated teams.
Yeah.
So it makes sense having them at the top of our MVP leaderboard.
Yeah.
I think that those two. I don't think there's really other. And
there's not much else to say.
I just babbled.
Yeah. I won't say it. Anywho, I think we really touched up upon Modano a lot this week.
Yeah.
He really had a great week. There's not much else you can say on him. Yeah. The dude's just balling out. Mm-hmm. Keep it up if you can.
Yeah.
That's my challenge of the week. I've been doing a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
Keep it up, Modano. That's what I like to see.
My challenge? I don't know if I have a challenge for this week. Not off the dome, I don't.
Off the dome. I remember last week I told Gaff to step up his weekend.
Yeah.
Or not his weekend.
I think he had 5 points.
His defense.
Oh.
Brian, I told to step up his defense.
Brian's going to have to now. Especially.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, as I was saying... okay. Power rankings are different than the standings.
Very different.
Power rankings is our way of kind of...
the strength of a team based on the strength of the people who they've beaten.
Yeah. The standings are completely different. It's based off your record. Mm-hmm. Then I think it's head-to-head, and then
point differential.
Point differential. Yeah. So, if you want to check the standings, it is on the schedule site, the League Lobster site. Those are all up to date.
It's right above the schedule.
If you check on your phone, I think you have to hit a little button.
It's right above the schedule. You hit a little drop-down thing, and then the standings will be there.
So check that out. Those would be just kind of long to talk about and kind of boring, so check it out for yourself. Other than that, as always...
if you're still here, I know this is a long one.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end.
Yeah. Comment. I'm gonna say it every week. Comment any suggestions.
We say this all the time.
Comment any disagreeing, agreeing.
Yeah.
To any points we made.
We finally got some suggestions this week, and as you guys can see, they went right into the podcast. So
keep it coming.
You give us what you want, we'll produce.
Yep. Drop a like, share it on a story, and subscribe if you haven't already. I think most people are.
Yeah. But with that being said, I think that's our 4th podcast in the books. I think so. I think we've done 3. Yeah, because we did opening.
Yeah. Foe. This is Foe.
Nixon Foe. Whoops.
Hey. Nixon Foe. Yeah.
It lasted longer than the Knicks.
Alright, fair enough.
Alright. Week 4 in the books. See you guys next week. Peace!
Woo!